backwards. But it must be lived forward.
And guess where they are revealed darkly through the written or the printed word. The drama reflected the power of the oral tradition, but its flowering for only a short period in Greece and in England and illustrates its...
And there's
That's all, socially or any other way. Now, in a written society, they're all allowed to be homogenized.
I think he said somewhere in his autobiography that if I had my life to live again, I'd be a plumber.
By the way, in Plato's ideal world, there's no matter.
And, that's retrieving.
The ear society says, no, you are different.
Is this going to be, you were just saying, on one thing you wrote over there, you said the manhunt is the big thing of the electronic age. Is it also the...
Well, information. In the age of information, we're all engaged in hunting information.
Oh, so that's the hunt.
So the detective story is already a prophecy of electronic man. The Sherlock Holmes world is and the whole detective world is the world of the manhunt.
And you then would be, if one was to describe you, one should describe you as the great detective as opposed to the great philosopher, or, you know, what they say.
Look, both Edgar Allan Poe, and Conan Doyle used entirely artistic techniques for detection.
It seemed it was as if he was reflecting upon the misfortune of having discovered how to split the atom.
You have a different tune, a different melody, you belong in another part of the orchestra.
He says. But this is typical. He makes statement after statement after statement. He doesn't develop them.
Yeah.
And I do that too, except that I am careful to make my statements annoying.
Boy, that sends them. And it should, too. Do you know, Tony, I'm so frustrated.
Because I know that people are going to go sound asleep unless you annoy them very, very much. And
I'll have a look at it.
it belongs up on the top shelf.
On the top shelf.
There's also his Empire in Communications is here, which is a study of the growth of empire through media.
By encountering this solid block against the interest in the medium rather than in the content, that I've almost decided to go back to commenting on content. You know, it's apropos, for example, a thing like Star Wars.
I'll tell you, I think the opposite is true, Marshall. I think at this point there is more interest. There was that series in the Washington Post with your article. There was a series.
I know, but I was still fighting against that blank wall, and everybody's interested in content. But for example, have you seen Star Wars?
No, I haven't. My wife and daughter saw it yesterday. My son saw it a few weeks ago.
They liked it?
They liked it.
Yeah, well now it is very nostalgic. It's all old stuff.
It's all old Buck Rogers. John Carey is here, and he's...
Yeah, and it was also the Wizard of Oz. And,
yes.
And also a lot of old wartime films about fighter pilots and so on.
What John said was interesting. He said, although everybody is talking about the visual excitement in it, that most of the visuals become more meaningful because of the way the sound is handled with them.
That's true. That's true.
You know?
Now, on the other hand, as I say, I'm getting fed up with the simple-minded bias of our world. It's not just people, it's the whole world. I mean, it's our whole culture.
Right there about your style. And your famous quote about, to your friends about most things you can read the first paragraph and you can fill in the rest yourself. Therefore, in your writing, that's not true, because each line is better than absolute. That's the
Each line is a new discovery, yes.
I was doing America Hurrah, written by Jean-Claude Van Natale at
No way.
12th Street.
And that's why people can't take that much into the book.
3rd
If
Avenue.
you wrote one page and published it, it would be a book.
It's one book, but one book per page.
An off-Broadway play.
And
Any book I know of can be put on one page. And you'll find that the TV generation doesn't see equality anywhere.
So, now, let me just ask you.
I mean, any classic.
No,
It plays it all by ear.
let me just ask you.
I mean, any classic.
No, I
Descartes can be put on one page. So can Plato.